German supermarket chain Kaufland has topped up its war chest as part of its fight for a slice of Australia's $90 billion grocery sector.
So how is Kaufland planning to tackle the heavyweights in the sector like Woolworths, Coles and Aldi? Well, the Australian's senior business reporter Eli Greenblatt has been following the story and joins us now from Melbourne. Eli, thank you very much for being with us. It's been a little while since we were able to ask you this, but what exactly is Kaufland?
So Kaufland is a German supermarket chain. It's owned by the Schwarz Group, which is a private family company in Germany, which is also the fourth largest retailer in the world. So very deep pockets, very large, very big in Europe. And they're bringing Kaufland, which is one of their supermarket models, to Australia. Kaufland is about 4 or 5 times larger than your standard Woolworths or Coles supermarket. It's got a full line of groceries, fresh food, packaged food, that kind of thing, as well as kind of general merchandise, clothing, toys, hardware, housewares. So you can imagine Kaufland is a single store, which is kind of like a Woolworths, Target, Kmart, bit of a Mitre 10, toys, reject shop, all under one roof. Mostly selling private label, so very cheap. But with some good service, some good quality products. They're coming to Australia. They've got 6 sites in Melbourne that they've already secured and they're looking to build on, and will be rolling out more in Australia. So really taking the fight to Coles and Woolies.
Now, as you said, they've got $325 million to spend. How do they appear to be spending it so far?
Yeah, so the German parent just recently injected about $145 million into the Australian subsidiary. It was the biggest injection for the local arm since they started looking at Australia a few years ago. And that's going to be used for construction, to plan their stores, to begin getting goods from suppliers, to hire staff, and to really roll out the stores in Australia. So as I was saying, they've got 6 sites already in Melbourne. They're mostly in suburban Melbourne. That's the first 6. They've also bought some land in Adelaide, which will probably be used as a distribution centre or a warehouse. They're looking to buy up more land elsewhere in Australia, so the money will be used for that. So that's a pretty big war chest. That's about 1/3 of $1 billion. So they're pretty serious. And as I said, they're owned by a German family company with very deep pockets, so they can spend a lot, they can invest a lot in Australia to get this up and going.
So has there been much speculation at this early stage as to how widespread Kaufland will be in Australia? Is it going to be in every city, do you think, by the end of it? Multiple stores in every city? What do you think?
Yeah, they may follow the Aldi example, which is really focused on the east coast to begin with. So Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, that's obviously where the large populations are. Probably start with that and then maybe stretch out west kind of to South Australia and Western Australia. But we're not sure is it what they're doing. Kaufland keeping a bit quiet and keeping their kind of cards close to their chest and not really explaining yet their kind of grand plans. But analysts are looking at what they've done in other countries, what the kind of demographics lends it to in Australia. And, they're looking to maybe, they could have 20, 30 stores around Australia. It won't be as big as Aldi. Aldi are heading to 500 stores. It won't be like, obviously, Coles or Woolies, which might have 1,000 stores. Probably closer to that Costco model, where Costco's got about 10 stores, and probably the market could fit another 10. So, remember, these are very large stores. They're very large formats. They're, 4 or 5 times bigger than a Coles or Woolies. So you could probably expect, 20-odd stores in Australia to begin with.
And is there clearly room for them in the market?
Well, they certainly think so, and they think there's a gap there in the market they can exploit. It's not a Costco where it's membership based, so you can shop there for free. You don't need to pay membership. It's a bit more upmarket than an Aldi, so it's a lot larger than an Aldi. An Aldi is maybe 1/3 or 1/4 the size of a Coles, whereas Kaufland is 4 or 5 times bigger than a Coles or Woolies. Also, Kaufland will have in-store service, so there'll be a deli counter, a meat counter, a seafood counter. So it's a bit more upmarket, a bit more perhaps better quality in terms of the labels, in terms of the food. So they think there is that gap where they're a bit above Aldi, but still cheaper than Coles or Woolies.
Eli, Coles and Woolies are busily working on things like their collectibles campaigns, toy giveaways, things like that. Do you think that they're not, I guess, paying enough attention to this international competition that is happening in Australia? Is it the elephant in the room a little bit for them?
Well, no, I think they are paying attention, and they've been cutting prices for a few years now, and I think it's part of that. And I think certainly Aldi has had a big effect on Coles and Woolies, forcing Coles and Woolies to cut their prices to get closer to where Aldi is. So I think that's, so I think they are aware of it, and also Costco have also put the pressure on them. But I think Kaufland, yes, is it'll be a new level of pressure and a new competitor. But I think Coles and Woolies, they're working hard. So I think they're cutting prices, they're increasing their in-store service, they're refurbishing stores as fast as they can. They're becoming more efficient with better warehouses, more automated warehouses. So I think they are aware of it, and they're fighting every day for customers.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing more about that as the rollout continues. Eli Greenblatt from The Australian, thank you very much for taking us through it.